Hey everyone! In the wake of Pope Francis's death, his sister Maria Elena Burggalio broke her silence, sharing deeply personal and emotional insights about her brother that surprised many, including devoted Catholics. For years she had maintained a low profile, rarely engaging with the media, but felt compelled to speak following his passing. Her revelations included touching memories and some controversial aspects of his life, providing a new perspective on the beloved leader of the Catholic Church. This unexpected disclosure has sparked interest and reflection among those mourning his loss, as it unveiled a side of Pope Francis that the world had not previously known. Maria Elena Burggalio, the only surviving sibling of Pope Francis, reflects on her childhood in Argentina and the pressures faced within the Vatican. Her emotional tribute has sparked global conversation, revealing unexpected truths about Pope Francis that challenge his polished public image. For over a decade, Maria Elena has lived a quiet life away from the spotlight, contrasting sharply with her brother's prominence as a religious leader. Her poignant words during a recent statement left a profound impact, highlighting the complexities of their relationship and the weight of untold stories. Maria Rosa describes her brother Jorge as a devout man shaped by a strong moral compass and a passion for justice, which she attributes to their shared upbringing. However, their childhood was marred by deep personal trauma stemming from a family betrayal involving their father and a long-hidden secret of a second family. This revelation, which Jorge discovered at the age of 12, shattered his innocence and led him to become fixated on righteousness, possibly as a means to atone for the perceived sins of his loved ones. Maria's insights reveal how this traumatic experience profoundly influenced Jorge's character and beliefs. Maria Elena, in a final interview, revealed that her late brother, who served as Archbishop and later Pope, had amassed a private collection of documents, letters, and recordings that could potentially alter church history. She expressed her hesitation to disclose this information, emphasizing the weight of responsibility she felt. According to her, her brother believed that some truths were too profound for the world to handle, as they could challenge the very foundations of faith. This revelation raises significant questions about the secrets held within the Vatican and the implications of their potential disclosure. A high-ranking church official grappled with the deep-seated corruption and abuse within the Vatican, feeling torn between his moral responsibilities and the potential fallout of exposing these issues. Despite his awareness of the troubling connections between the church and authoritarian regimes, he chose to remain silent, believing that the church could not withstand another scandal. Pope Francis, too, opted for a quiet reform approach rather than public exposure, a decision that left the official regretting his lack of action in his later years. He pondered whether a more drastic approach might have been necessary to facilitate genuine change within the church. In his final moments, Pope Jorge expressed a deep urgency to his sister Maria Elena, revealing a poignant mission he felt compelled to complete before his passing. Despite his frail condition, he insisted that she share not only the details of a significant dossier, but also the stories of neglected children whom the Church had failed to acknowledge. This vulnerable moment highlighted his concern for those who were overlooked and his desire for their plight to be remembered, showcasing a side of the Pope that was deeply human and compassionate. Maria Elena was left profoundly moved by his request, understanding the weight of his words and the importance of the truth he wished to convey. Maria is grappling with the decision to either uphold the silence of the Vatican regarding her brother Jorge's deathbed promise or to reveal the truth he wanted known, which could tarnish the Church's image. She believes that the Vatican is intentionally avoiding acknowledgement of these claims to protect Jorge's legacy as a reform-minded pope. Maria feels that exposing the buried cases and unofficial files could lead to irreversible damage, and she is at a pivotal moment where her next actions could significantly impact the Catholic Church. The tension between honoring her brother's truth and the Church's silence is palpable, and she hints at potentially explosive revelations while recognizing Tedesco's charisma and political acumen, harbored suspicions about a more sinister reality. He believed that Tedesco had received private assurances from influential Vatican factions, promising that if he were to become pope, he would not investigate the controversial, unopened files related to abuse cases from the late 1980s to the early 2000s in regions like South America, Africa, and Eastern Europe. These cases were the very ones Pope Francis had sought to expose, yet faced constant obstruction from high-ranking church officials. Jorge expressed concern that if Tedesco ascended to the papacy, the church would not only forget these dark chapters, but actively work to erase them from history. Maria struggled to accept this grim possibility, especially given the church's long history of public scrutiny over abuse scandals. Maria reveals that the church's historical abuse archives were suppressed shortly before Pope Francis's death, suggesting he was outmaneuvered by the institution he led. She believes that his successor may have been chosen for his willingness to maintain silence on issues Pope Francis sought to address. Maria received an anonymous warning to refrain from speaking out, but she feels compelled to share her knowledge of her brother Jorge's final wishes, which she fears may be obscured by the Vatican's actions. In 2023, Jorge found himself hospitalized and expressed his concerns about losing his ability to speak freely, yet he resolved to continue writing despite his physical decline. His journal entries reveal a profound struggle against both personal and institutional pressures, as he documented encounters with high-ranking church officials who urged him to prioritize the church's unity over justice for abuse victims. Jorge's writings reflect a deep commitment to truth, as he poignantly stated that protecting the institution by denying the truth equates to a betrayal of Christ, highlighting his dedication to advocating for the vulnerable and confronting the painful realities of abuse within the church. Maria has shared select pages from a journal that could reveal significant internal conflicts within the Vatican, as described by investigative reporter Luca Morelli, who calls it a potentially explosive document. He suggests that if the journal is fully authenticated, it could spark widespread debate among Catholics and believers globally. Additionally, Maria possesses a sealed envelope left by Pope Francis, labeled for "in case of betrayal," the contents of which remain a mystery. She has been cautioned against opening it until she can ensure its safety, hinting at further revelations that could emerge. Maria faces a profound dilemma regarding her late brother's journal, which contains sensitive information about a power struggle within the church and potentially incriminating details about abuse within its ranks. As Cardinal Matteo Tedesco rises to prominence, Maria grapples with the decision to either share the journal's contents, which could provide hope to abuse survivors seeking accountability, or to protect her brother's legacy by keeping it private. The pressure intensifies as families of abuse survivors urge her to release the journal, believing it may contain crucial revelations that could challenge the status quo and bring justice. Ultimately, Maria must weigh the implications of her choice on both her brother's dignity and the quest for truth and healing within the church. Thanks for watching.